Hello, everyone. Well, what I'm going to do, first of all, let me make sure that you guys can hear me well. I'm not coming through here again, am I? Does it sound like it's coming from that camera again? Does it? Because I don't see the microphone moving down here. I think, no, for Avery, does it sound like it normally does? Like, does it sound clear, Avery? I don't see my microphone down here moving. Something doesn't see through I'm hearing this microphone through the earphones, but I don't know if you guys are actually hearing what I'm hearing. Thank you, Avery. Okay. Shoot. What did I do to fix this the last time? What did I do to fix this the last time? This is going to be ridiculous. So I got to think about what I did to fix this the last time. Okay. What did you do to fix this the last time? Guys, hang in there for a little bit. I know y'all say this loud and clear, but y'all don't understand this. The ones that's been with me for a while, they know exactly how this sounded. It's coming from that, but that's not what it's supposed to be coming from. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to try to do something here. So give me a second. I know I'm live right now, but give me a second, please. What did you do, Smith? How did I not remember this? Oh my gosh, what did I do? Okay. Anyway, I'll still wait till about a good 5-10 some odd minutes before I go into. Okay, let's see. What did I do? Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get this together. I don't know if it's going to work, but let's see. Mama Don. Let's see something. I think what happened the last time. Y'all give me a sec. I'm really trying to think this through. You would think that I would remember this with ease, because I know it has something to do with this speaker. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna make sure I get you in here, Mama Don. I'm gonna call you real quick and see. Bear with me, folks. I usually wait 5 minutes before I go into it anyway. So anyway, you guys see the title right there. I don't know why I converted back to this. No, Kara, what I end up doing, I end up fixing it. Whenever I talk to you, remember whenever I was talking to you, Kara, we nobody could hear you. Then I had to figure out why nobody could hear you. So maybe that's why you don't need to go back to why nobody could hear you. Oh, I think I have it. I think I have it. Let's see if this is it, guys. I'm never gonna forget this again. What about now? Y'all hear me pretty good now? Wait a minute. It's still coming through my microphone. It's still coming through here, but you guys can't hear it. That's the issue. Okay, now let's see. What about now? It should sound completely different. It doesn't, real? It doesn't? Right, I know you hear me well, but something. What about now? Oh, it's not coming through there either. Give me a second, folks. I'm gonna go on with the show, but I usually wait 5 minutes or something before I go into the show anyway. So let's see. Okay, there that is. Okay. All right, so what I'm getting ready to see, folks, I'm getting ready to see if you guys can hear Mama Don, and we're getting ready to give her a call, okay? So we're getting ready to give her a call, and we're going to go from there, okay? So we can get in on this subject at hand. Hopefully everybody's having a good night, good evening, all that good stuff. I'm getting ready to call Miss Dawn. Y'all probably already talking about it anyway. Some of y'all are already expressing y'all opinions. So carry on. Don't mind me. Okay, let's see. That is loud and clear.
Stop.
There she is. Okay, I'm going to make sure that everybody else can hear you too. Okay. Everybody, can you guys hear her? So you have to say hi, dog. You know how to do this.
What's up, y'all? I have it's delayed on my iPad.
Okay, so they seem like they can hear you pretty well, and you guys all can hear me well too. Mama Don, what do I sound like to you? Does it sound like my mic usually does, or does it sound like it's coming from like it sounds real?
It just sounds a little bit louder. That's it.
Okay, let me see something. You said it sounds louder, so let me see. Did this take it down any or not? 1, 2, 3, 4. Did it take the sound
That
down?
sounds good. That sounds good to me.
Okay, well, if it sounds good to you guys,
Hey, Carla.
Okay.
I'm going to say hey to everybody that I missed who said hey.
Go right ahead. Do what you need to do. Do what you need to do. Say hi to everybody.
Hey, y'all. I probably am David. I'm from the woods. I don't know. Whisper is, who's that? Whisper it's.
Who?
I don't. Hey.
Wisp who?
Are you new? Is she new? Whisper.
Yeah, Wisperienced. Yeah. Look,
Hey, Terry.
J.S. Newcomb said, who is Don?
Hey, M169. Legal, what's up?
Look, Carrie said, the queen is here.
Yes, Carrie. I is here. I walk into the room and those around me just bow in amazement. I sent Todd a picture of a shirt my husband got me about, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, that was nice. That was too funny, too.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like they can all hear you pretty clear.
I can hear you. I wish I could hear everybody typing. That way I wouldn't have to read.
Can you imagine what that would sound like if everybody in here was talking? Man, I would just like shut it down. Like, oh no, that's too much.
Yeah, that would be a little much.
Man, that's way
But
too much.
Alabama accent. I'm
Wow.
from the hills of Carolina.
Okay.
And my parents lived out in the woods, I guess you'd say.
Okay.
I is on. That's who I is. Lindsay Bless.
Lily, okay, for everybody that keeps someone asking who Mama Don is one of my original subscribers, original patrons on this channel. She's the very first person that I made a phone call to with all the different stuff that I do. Her and I, she's the very first person I ever had a phone conversation with. Like when I started the channel and as the channel grew and I started venturing out doing Patreon, different things like that, Mama Don is the first person that I ever talked to on the phone. And then talking with her on the phone, we became very acquainted and we hit it off really, really well. Very home. She's very down to earth, very straightforward, don't hold no punches. And she's been a long time subscriber and a long time patron. Her and her family has been very generous, very outgoing, very good, close family from the NC. And that's who Mama Don is. So she's an OG. So
yes, there you go. I'm an OG. Yeah.
That stands for original grandma.
You know it. My grandkids love me. Oh, they just adore me.
Has Mama Don made music requests? Yes, like for the past almost 2 years, every month.
I just made one recently because I can't get on my Patreon.
Oh my God, not again. I'm gonna just.
How many times have I locked myself out?
You know what? I'm gonna next time you forget the password, I'm gonna just save your password for you. And I'm like, Mama Don, here's your password. Just.
I'm like, well, see, sometimes different things will tell me I need to change it. So when I change a different one, I start thinking that's the one for that one. So wow. I get confused very easily.
Wow. Okay, so everybody, thus far, we are about 12 and a half minutes in. You guys can hear her clear as day, right? Because we're getting ready to get into this conversation. So
it's going down.
When a few of y'all say yes, we'll go right on into it. Okay, cool beans. They can hear you pretty clear. So I know that I have it up there in a particular order, Mama Don. I have it up there like, with Kyle Rittenhouse, and then I have Jacob Blakely. So the one I want to kind of go into right now, because I know it's going to be a hot discussion, is the Kyle Rittenhouse. I don't know if you've seen any of the videos, but the reason why I actually put his name up there right now is because when I did my whole analysis on Jacob Blake, and pretty much broke all that down, and we seen what the last video was thus far last night, I kept getting all these comments and emails like, dude, what do you got to say about Kyle? What do you got? I'm like, what are they talking about? I have no idea what they're talking about. They're like, well, what do you got to say about that dude carrying the AR-15 to shot people? I'm like, I don't even know anything about this. I have no idea. I've never heard of it. I don't know what they're talking about. And so then today,
they were attacking him. I mean, it's not like he just shot people for the fun of it.
Right. And see, that's what I'm saying. So what I did is that today, I got off of work. I made sure I went to work early, and I made sure that I got these patients knocked out of the way because I need to come back and hear about this, because so many people, they were bombarding like, dude, what about Kyle? He had a gun. The police didn't shoot him. I'm thinking about, I'm about to look up a black dude, and the police didn't shoot him. But I figured when they said the police didn't shoot him, they're like, what about him? See, the police didn't shoot him because he's a white. And I'm like, wait a minute. So what I did, and you guys are going to see this probably tomorrow, I went and watched every last possible video that I can on this. And some folks, again, I know they're going to be calling me names, and they already know I'm going with this because I'm not on anybody's side. But if you've seen the videos that I've gotten, I've seen it from the beginning to the end, not just what happened to him. I've seen it from when the white dude that was saying to him, like, shoot me, shoot me. I mean, I've seen the whole thing, and I'm talking about the videos that you guys can probably see tomorrow. It is raw. I'm talking about you guys are going to see some raw footage. It's not, this ain't no blurred out and fuzzed over stuff. You're going to see bleeding and a hole in the arm and a hole in the head.
Yeah. So, I saw that.
Yeah. So, anyway, I want to know since you've seen a lot of video, I want to know what your take is on it.
Well, it's a sad situation, honestly. He was there to begin with, trying to protect some of the businesses and stuff, and that's why he had a gun. And all those, it's scary for one person not to have anybody but himself and a whole bunch of people coming around screaming, yelling, and I guess that could be threatening. And I don't like to see anybody shoot anybody.
Right.
But I don't think he did it purposely or his intention was to kill anybody. I think, he felt threatened. And then when he got beat up, of course, he had all reasons to shoot them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one guy hit him with a skateboard. The other guy did some sort of round drop kick or some crap like that. So, I mean, to me, it was self-defense.
Right. Okay. See, like I said, the video you guys don't see tomorrow, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it. But I know, like, even me talking about it, people still like to see, and I like for people to see too, because I want people to look at it from their own eyes and judge the situation. But I don't know what all the details are, but I do know from the stuff that I have, everything they are all, just like people shouting things at each other. And the white dude, I don't know if you've seen that part, the white bald-headed guy, he comes up and he's like, shoot me N-word, shoot me N-word. He's talking, he's a white dude saying this to another white dude. So when what you end up seeing is like what you mentioned. I got the video of somebody has him on the video. This is Kyle I'm talking about. They said to Kyle, what are you doing down here? He said, I'm down there just trying to protect the business. And he said, also, I have my med pack with me. So in case somebody get hurt, I can go and assist them. And then the dude was like, what you got a gun for? He said, oh, this is to protect me. That's what he said. And so later on, I don't know what happened, but for what you see Kyle running from someone. This is the first incident, the first shooting. Kyle is running from somebody. The dude has a red shirt over his head.
You can hear him yelling, "Get!" They say, "Get him, get him."
Yeah, well, what I'm talking about is the first time, like when he was in the parking lot. Yeah. The dude is running after Kyle, and I'm gonna show y'all the video like clear as day. What you see, Kyle turns around, and he turns around while the dude is chasing him. Yeah. Kyle kept running. The dude threw something. I don't know what it was. He threw something at Kyle, and Kyle kept running. You hear a shot go off. When the shot goes off, Kyle turns around, and when he turns around, the red dude seemed like he was about to do something, and he got shot. People are not going to see. People are not going to believe me, and I hope they don't believe me because I want them to see the videos themselves. So the dude got shot, and when the dude got shot, Kyle runs around the car and comes back on the other side. And whoever is with Kyle, whoever the other guy was, this guy takes his shirt off and start applying pressure to the wound. Kyle pulls out a phone and starts calling the police. And even when he's calling the police, he see the crowd starting to gather, whatever. And what Kyle does, he actually starts running towards the police lights. And while he's doing that, you can hear him and what they making out what he said. They said he sounded like he was on the phone running. He said, I just shot somebody. So now here it is. Kyle is running towards the police lights. And people start saying, who did it? Him. He just shot somebody. So they chased after him. And one dude ran behind him and clocked him. And Kyle kind of turned around and he falls on the ground. A dude with white jeans on runs at Kyle and jumps up in the air and kicks him in the face. And when he kicks him in the face, by the time he get kicked, another dude is coming with the skateboard. And when the dude with the skateboard hit Kyle, he fell over a little bit. And as he was getting up, Kyle shot him in the chest. And you see the dude run off a little bit and then he collapsed. Then another dude comes over where Kyle was, point blank. The dude had a gun, a handgun right there at Kyle, and Kyle turned around and aimed and shot dude in the arm. After dude gets shot in the arm, Kyle gets up, he turns around a little bit. I guess he makes sure that they were safe. He ran towards the police. He had his hands up because people started. That's what I'm saying. I love this because folks start saying, well, how come the police just shoot him? This white dude clearly had an AR. How come the police just shoot him? And I'm telling them, what I'm going to show tomorrow, which I'm giving y'all a spoiler alert, is that Kyle was walking towards the police with his hands up in the air. That's what people are going to get mad at. And when the police came in, they didn't know what was going on. They have no idea. They hearing shots. They don't know if it's a gun. They just coming. They have no idea what's going on. So I like the fact that they try to push this narrative like, well, the police didn't do none of him. They handed him a bottle of water. They didn't even arrest him after he shot the dude. They act like the police was there the whole time when it went on.
Yeah. It's honestly, it shouldn't be about race all the time, but every time they're pushing it. The left is just pushing it, and they will push it until the election. They're going to push it as hard as they can. They're going to push this COVID crap as hard as they can until the election. That's all we're going to hear about. Every single little thing is going to be about race. I mean, you see all these basketball players, oh, we're not going to play basketball because of, it's just ridiculous.
And you know what?
It really is. It's gotten to the point where you don't even want to turn on the news because you get depressed.
Yeah, you don't even want to turn on TV, period. And you hear that the NBA boycotting. I'm like, everybody else like, okay, and to be quite honest with you, even though they're boycotting, a lot of them are ignorant to the fact of what's really going on. But at the same time, from what I was hearing, nobody was really watching anyway. So
Yeah.
it was like,
because we're sick of it. Everybody's sick of it.
Like, no.
Down here at the beach, we went to this ice cream place, and it has a bowling alley and everything, and they have these TVs of the playoffs or the games or something. I don't know. And they all had the Black Lives Matter on the jersey, and everybody just turned around like, really?
Yeah.
It's just so when you're ticking off over half the country, should tell you, hey, probably some of my fans are half of those people, or, part of those people.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't care. It's not, they don't care anymore. They don't care about their fans. They don't care about anything but social justice and all that garbage. People's feelings. That's all that matters now.
It's people's feelings. Yeah, that's absolutely right. And like I said, what's sad about it, I think what happens a lot of time is that we don't try to, but I think what a lot of people do, they feel that if a person is a millionaire or a celebrity or anything like that, for some reason, it's automatically put in people's mind that these celebrities, they know all. They're smarter than us because they're millionaires, or you know what I'm saying, because they have this privileged lifestyle. It makes people assume that they're very intelligent, and a lot of them are not. So just because your favorite NBA player, your favorite celebrity is doing this thing, it doesn't mean that they actually took the time to read out about Black Lives Matter. It doesn't mean they took the time out to read out about this whole thing that's going on. It doesn't mean that they took the time out to really investigate what really happened to Jacob Blake. I mean, now you see what happened to now that a lot of the facts have come out about Jacob Blake. You're looking at them like, okay, stupid. Here y'all are sitting there.
When I first heard about this, I think it was the Jacob. When I first heard about that, they said that he was trying to help somebody. This was on Fox News. They got it wrong. They had to go back and do it again because the way they made it sound was this guy just showed up to try to help somebody. The police started for no reason. I mean, this is the narrative that most of the media pushes, and people are so stupid, they don't even try to go say, hey, maybe that's not true. That sounds kind of stupid. Why would a cop just follow him around and just shoot him because he was helping somebody? That makes absolutely no sense. You see, people don't want to apply common sense because they trust the media, and they shouldn't. There's been too many reasons not to trust the media. I mean, even with, I think it was the RNC the other day, that boy with CNN and all those people for defamation of character. What was his name? Dick?
Oh, the Sandman or something?
Huh?
The one who was smiling while the Indian man was playing the drum or whatever? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they were pushing that narrative that it was the kid doing something wrong. And it wasn't. It was a complete lie. And instead of apologizing for it, all they said was, we may have misconstrued a little bit. No, you didn't. You told a flat out lie.
Exactly.
And so they got sued. And they should be sued. Because they're idiots.
Now, with that being said,
they're leading the American people around by the nose. And if you don't do your research, you're going to fall into that hole of believing all the stuff that they tell you, which is lies.
Yep. And, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's amazing to me that these people, y'all, I mean, you have to know that these people are owned. Like, I don't care, NBA players, the contracts that they sign, a lot of folks don't know what those contracts entail. It's just like when I did Ninja Warrior. Y'all have no idea what Ninja Warrior have us sign and what we can and cannot do, what we can and cannot say. Y'all have no idea of this. And so anyway, how is it that these NBA players all can collectively, we're not doing anything, look at Jacob Blake, but nobody is saying nothing about, I'm pretty sure I lived in the area before. I'm pretty sure somebody in Chicago died today. I'm pretty sure somebody got killed today. And no, how come they're not boycotting black on black crime? The NBA is 90% black men. Okay, there is 90% black men. Men are being killed by men that look just like the men in the NBA, and they're not saying anything about that. But Jacob Blake gets killed by, well, no, Jacob Blake gets shot. Let me rephrase that. Jacob Blake gets shot by a police officer, and all of a sudden, when we can't take this no more. It's so hypocritical.
It is, and what gets me is when you watch it. I mean, when you watch the news cover it, and they'll say, you know, his mother talked about how nonviolent he was. Okay, first of all, if he wasn't, why would they be there on a violent crime? I mean, that's why the police will call it to begin with, was the word domestic violence. And she's like, oh, he's the most nonviolent person you could ever meet. And I'm thinking, honey, he's already been arrested several times for something that has the word violence in it.
Right. And you know what? I think, you know, and what I don't know because they kind of hid it, but I think ABL sent me one. Did you see the video where she had to retract her statement about that? I don't know if you've seen it, because she spoke and said,
I didn't see that.
Man, you would love it, because the dude that was interviewing her, what's his name? The you know, the black dude, CNN,
Don Lemon.
Yeah, he was interviewing her, and Mama Don, I wish I hope ABL has a way that I can download it, because they don't like, when I try to look it up on YouTube, they're trying not to show it. They are literally trying not to show her retracting what she said. She sat there and said, I was speaking out of a place of emotion. I didn't really have my thoughts together. I apologize for what I said. And then she even said a family member that said some stuff as well that was bad. She said that doesn't represent what I really feel. And she turned around and said, our president is da 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 da. I want the violence to stop. I want these protesters to quit. Y'all burning up our town and doing stuff is not helping anything. You can just see, what's his name? You just said Don. Gosh. Yeah, you can just see Don Lemon face like, oh my God, stop, quit saying, don't say that. You can just see him doing that. You can just see it, because she was sitting there saying how she don't want them to fight. She said, stop burning the city up. And then the fact she said that Donald Trump tried to contact her, but so much stuff was going on, she missed his call. She said, I hope he calls back again. And she even started saying things like what he's trying to do for our country and and all of a sudden I was like, this interview about to end. So once she spoke her piece on that and all that, you can tell he's like, thank you, ma'am. And so I was like, where is this at? How come they're not playing that? You should see that clip everywhere with his Jacob's mom speaking out against that. You should see it. She retracted her statement saying it was awesome. And the fact that I know it made some people mad because she said our president. And I was like, oh boy, she about to
Yeah, they don't want to say he's our president. They want to say he's not our president. He's, this horrible human being who they all loved until he became a Republican, which is crazy. But see, the thing is that the left doesn't have morals anymore. I mean, this is not the same party of Kennedy. This is a party that's lost all morality. I mean, they're even, if you look at some of the things they say about abortion, even after the baby is born alive, just to allow it to die, who could, well, I don't even have words for how horrible that is. But that's the kind of things they think's okay. I mean, if human beings would think about what is right and what's wrong and vote by what's right and what's wrong, but they don't. They go with what the media tells them.
Right, and you know what? And that drive, and like I said, I've learned, because even though this is going to be my first year ever voting, I do know that I've been around people that did do it. I argued with people, not argue, but I had debates with people that actually do vote. And I was this is before I just never voted. Y'all know my story why I never voted. But my point in saying that, I would just say like things like, okay, so that lady that y'all saying that's voting, y'all voting for in our area right here, you guys are saying that that's who you're voting for. I'm like, but I don't get it, because like last year I thought they were supposed to clean up College Street. I thought that they said they was going to use that money. Oh, so they helped College Street by putting some barricades around to where you can only get in two ways. So that's what they use the money. I thought they were For 5 years later, they gave us a police camera on the corner. Oh, but what about the ran down neighborhood and the poor water? I mean, you turn the water on it, brown water runs for like a whole full minute before it turns over to clear. Then you're scared to death to drink it. So we're trying to figure out. I would tease them and say, but y'all keep on voting for that person that ain't changed nothing. So that's why I said I used to always, I ain't getting into that mess because they don't do nothing. But now it's different because now people and the kingdom that I represent, which is God's kingdom, they're attacking it. And I'll be darned if I'm just going to sit back and be like, I'm just going to pray and Jesus, we're going to just do nothing and let. No. In the Bible, if people read the Bible, Jesus, God, people fought. I'm not talking about physically. I mean, they did fight physically in the Bible, but my point is, God never had his people sit there and cower. They fought. And the issue that I'm having today is that if these ministers are not speaking out against this evil that's going on, it almost let me just feel like they part of it. Just like when Moses didn't have to draw that line. You either for God and you stand on this side, or you against God and you stand over there. And they're showing who they're for because they're not speaking out against it. I have a lot of minister friends that I came up with, and not too many of them. Let's just say out of 100, there's like 20 of us speaking out against this. And I call the rest, I'm calling it what it is. They're cowards. And so anyway, that's the issue that I'm having. That's why I was like, wait a minute, something's going on now. Now they're coming out and coming at Christians. They going in churches, hollering some Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. I mean, okay, time out. So.
Well, I mean, like, you know, I had sent you that video, then you did that video about them chanting. Now, what's the chanting about? I mean, are they trying to conjure up spirits? I mean, what are they doing? I mean, they seem like they are all for it. They want to help everybody. They want to help all the Black people, and they want to help. They don't want to help you. They want you to feel like that you're oppressed. They want you to feel like everybody's against you, well, all the white people are against you, and that you need to rise up. And this is what they do. They go into neighborhoods. I mean, we bought a gun. We've never owned a gun ever. I mean, we used to leave our doors unlocked until probably 10 years ago. And now we bought a gun. I said, what's going to come next? We're going to have big old guns standing up the front of my yard. Somebody enters, we have to shoot. I mean, it's gotten to the point where you're afraid at your own home, and you shouldn't be. That's the one place you should feel safe.
Right.
But if they're going down streets in suburbia, you know, telling people, hey, the reason you got this home is off the backs of Black people. You need to give us your home. What? I didn't take this house from you. If you walked this house, you should have got a better job.
Exactly.
I mean,
it's that simple. It's absolutely that simple. And the issue is that people's minds are so deterred from it that they have no other way. I mean, it's sad that I'm serious. It's really sad that folks do not know how to think. They don't know how to think. They are just completely, purely emotionally driven and triggered. And people know that when you can get somebody with emotions, they don't think logically. In fact, it's proven that once you become a certain, when your levels of anger or anxiety rises up, it's proven that a lot of blood is drawn from a particular parts of the brain that has to deal with the reasoning. So that's when, I mean, you don't think the people don't think that they study this stuff and know that if we get a certain people triggered, they don't have the ability to reason. If they can't reason, they're just going to be going off of pure adrenaline, pure emotion. That's what they're going to be going off of. And that's why we see a result of like, we sitting there like, how can y'all not just, what?
It's like common sense has gone out the window. I mean, I was sitting there watching them talk and say things and will scream and yell. And I thought, how do you not see yourself as an idiot? Because you're acting like a complete idiot. When you scream and holler and talk to where nobody understands what you said. If you ever watch Louder with Crowder, he'll go and have discussions with people, and they won't talk to him. They scream and yell, or they walk off mad. They can't have a conversation.
No.
Because they have no truth. All they have is what they feel.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's hurting my feelings.
That's all.
Well, my daddy told me something years ago when I was little. I was darker than most people, but I wasn't black or anything, but I have a dark complexion. My eyes have like a dark rings around them. And my mom and family is like from Romania. So we're darker. And they used to call me names. And I remember I was about 8, 9 years old coming home crying. You know, they're making fun of me. And my daddy told me, he says, don't let people who have nothing to do with you, who's not taking care of you, who don't care about you, bother you. It shouldn't bother you. They're nobody to you. The only people's opinions that matter are the people that you care about. And from then on, I didn't care. I started laughing and saying, yeah, you know, your mama punched me in the face. Or, you know, I make a joke about it. But for a long time, I let it bother. But these aren't kids. These are grown people.
Right. It's, you know, and I think that's the thing, is that you can just tell that over time that within the world that we living in right now, it's like, if this is a generation of people that's being grown up, I'm not hating on anybody that I'm getting ready to talk about right now, but it's no wonder. I mean, it's no wonder that our candidates that seem to be the ones that we're voting for of a certain age, and I'm not doing no age discrimination. I'm just saying, like, for instance, I don't care who wins. No, I do care, but whoever wins this next term, it's like, after that term, who's going to be up for running? Is it going to be any younger people, like in their 40s or 50s, with a whole different ideology, or is it going to be ones that come out with truth, whatever it is? Because, you know, it's sad that right now folks do not know what they want to do. They don't know who to vote for, what to do. They don't know who to believe and not to believe. And that's why I said, if it was anything, it feels like you should be directing the person to say, honey, see this packet right here? I want you to take it. I want you to go and read it. I want you to watch the videos on it and come back to me and let me know what you think. But when you actually try to put words on it to already influence their thought of what you want them to think, then it's like, okay, you're trying to indoctrinate them. That's what you're trying to do. You know, so it's really messed up. I mean, it really is messed up. And what's sad is that I cannot believe how
You don't indoctrinate with the truth.
exactly, because everybody should be able to arrive to the same conclusion. That's why I say a lot of things.
Facts are facts. You can't change the facts.
That's why
they're trying to change 2 + 2 is 4. They're trying to say, oh, it's really not. It's no.
They'll say it's whatever the child feels that it. See, again, it's whatever they feel it is, because in their world, why can't it be 5? You know, just like the dumb dude that was sitting there with Candace Owens talking about some, you know, why can't men? Yeah, men have periods. Men have periods. But
she lit into him. She about made him look stupid.
Man, I'm telling you, I don't know how fast this channel is going to grow, but y'all that's been with me for a long time, I would love to sit down and just talk with some of these folks, because y'all know I mean, it's just who I am, my personality. I'm very expressive. I mean, if I'm sitting across the table talking to somebody and they sitting there saying like, yeah, women can have periods, you would see me go like, y'all, he's stupid. I mean, I can't do that because
he sits there and tells me to stay off YouTube because I get so excited. But I'm like, Shannon, are you not afraid that these crazy people will be in office and they'll start taking people's guns and start telling you? Because I don't know if you know exactly what communism is, but it's basically where that country owns all the banks,
Karl Marx,
the big companies. Yeah, and they decide how much you get paid.
Yes.
They decide, you know, when you get a car.
Yes.
You know, that could be years.
I actually read upon a lot of that right now with Karl Marx and communism and all that. And that's why I'm saying, like, wow, this stuff is almost like they're trying to actually push this forward. And when it all comes down to it, what a lot of folks don't seem to realize is this. You think that Black Lives Matter started and just instantly got funding from regular citizens to be able to have buses and to be able to have all this different stuff? You think that all just came from no, they got the biggest amount of donations they ever had this year, but to actually get all this stuff started, nobody's asking questions like, where did all this money come from? I mean,
a white billionaire.
Yeah, exactly. But nobody wants to sit there and say, oh, that's just all conspiracy.
First of all, George Soros was a Nazi.
Mama Don, say GS.
He was a Nazi.
Say GS because they will shut my channel down.
Huh?
I'm just telling you that you can say what you're gonna say, but say GS because they will shut this live down for saying his name. No kidding.
Really?
I kid you not.
That's what I'm saying. You can't tell the truth anymore. They don't want to hear the truth. You've got YouTube, you've got an Amazon, you've got all these people who have the same narrative. everybody, all these big, huge companies have the same narrative. And honestly, me and my mom were talking, and she says, I'm afraid that if the country keeps going in the shape it is, God's just going to turn its back on the country, just let it explode on itself. Because right now, everybody's hating everybody else.
Well, you know what?
And
That's a good
sad.
point. You know what? What I think though, Mama Don, I think you know how it is. Jesus mentioned and said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. But he never said you couldn't leave me. And I think what we're seeing right now is a result of actually America saying we don't want none of God's principles. We don't want none of God's oracles. Because guess what? If you really think about it, everything that this organization is for, they're actually not everything that they are going after. It is against everything that Christ is about. Family, family, principles, morals, values, helping your neighbor, loving your neighbor as yourself. Don't covet what your neighbor had. Don't commit adultery. Don't kill. Don't steal. Mischief. I mean, all kind of malice. He names all these things. And what we're seeing right now is people actually, almost encouraging them to do the very thing that Christ laid out not to do. And then he even said the greatest command, he said, love one another. He said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. If every human being absolutely loved their neighbor as they love their own selves, this wouldn't be a conversation right now. But what happened is that people, everything that God does and everything that God has ever done, the devil will imitate it, but do it backwards. So you mentioned something really fascinating earlier when you said when I actually did the video today earlier about them doing a spirit. You said they're trying to conjure up spirits. She sounded like she did. She sounded like she did. And she said, whatever the spirit wants to accomplish. And that's why I tell people, we got to catch on to those things. So folks that sit there all day, even when I start this channel, this fairy God of yours, this fairy God in the sky, and these same people are supporting Black Lives Matter, in which their leader is the one that's sitting up there saying that I'm conjuring up our ancestors, or I'm conjuring up a spirit to operate with us. No, oh man, they just flat out showing y'all and telling y'all that they are into witchcraft, voodoo, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that's exactly. It was weird that I had to teach you that video so you didn't see it, and you did the thing on it. So I thought you could see my video. I was like, because I was watching it and I was like, oh my gosh, I never thought about it, but when they do that chant and they say those words over and over, and they say, chant her name, chant his name, or whatever.
Right.
And they go to the site of where they were killed. Almost, it's very ritualistic what they're doing.
Yes.
And I even go back to when it started. To me, it all started when they took prayer out of school. You didn't hear about school shootings until when? They took prayer out of school. When God leaves, you're letting Satan in. And I'm telling you now, the school systems right now are terrible.
Well, you know what? Like, again, to me, Mama Don, because, I think because America, how it is with freedom of religion, it's the fact that they are refusing. That's what they're doing. They're actually turning. They're pretty much what they're saying. We don't want you, God. That's what they're saying. Just like they did with Jesus. We don't want. They say, release unto us Barnabas. Release unto us whatever his name is, Barnabas. We want him. We don't want Jesus. We want release the murderer to us. That's who we want.
Yeah.
And then the pilot said, when my hands, the blood is not on my hands. They said, let his blood be on us. So it's almost like, not saying that they're doing it because Christ died for the sins of the world. And this everything that's going on, it's not taking God by surprise, because I'm sure the children of Israel, they were all like, man, like, oh, Pharaoh. And then God just sat there and said, go tell that dude to let my people go. I'm paraphrasing, folks. I know y'all got like, oh, let my people go. And then he went, hey, go tell Pharaoh, let my folks go. Pharaoh didn't do it. But guess what? God got them out of there anyway. So my thing is that even what's going on right now, God always provides. I don't even want to necessarily say an escape way, but he does. He provides an escape way. He provides a strategy for us to actually stand up against the evil that's going on. But the thing is that too far, too much, too long has the church been nothing more than a place of sensationalism and a whole bunch of hooping and hollering and folks, oh, I got the aura. And that's what I'm saying. Y'all get to see who the real ministers is. I'm just being real. The folks that y'all may have followed for a long time, I don't care how big and how mainstream they are. The fact that they are not up there speaking out against the evil that's going on right now lets you know that it's all been a huge farce. I'm sorry. I know that it's probably been people's pastor and friends and whoever they've been following on TV and has been there with them for a long time. But if they are not speaking out against the stuff that's going on right now, you need to question yourself about the people that you've been following, because that's absolutely crazy for people that are of God to not want to speak out against what's going on that's evil. It has nothing to do with race. Nothing to do with race. That's just a strategy that the devil want to use just to create some type of chaos, which is what's going on right now. But everything that's happening right now is nothing more than evil. We got to speak out and stand up against evil. Stand up for what's right. Stand up for what's true. Stand up for what's just completely moral. And right now, the big thing about this right now is that the people that are doing things that are immoral right now has a big, huge, strong support group that makes them feel like they're not doing wrong. It's just like I'll let you talk right here in a second because I know I'm rambling. But my nephew, his dad then would tell us stories about how when my nephew was younger, they all thought it was really funny and cute because he would sit there and say to people sometimes, "Patu bis," he's pretty much saying "F-U-B," and they're, "Oh, come here, say it again." He'll go, "Patu bis," and they was like, "Oh, look what they say it." They'll tell him say "F-U-B," he'll go, "Patu bis." So since he kept on getting encouraged to do that, he felt that if I keep on doing this thing that is wrong, it's gonna make people happy. But then it became a time where they're like, "Quit saying that! Don't say it." He started getting a spanking and whoopings because he was going around telling everybody that "Patu bis," and then he started saying it even clearer. So all of a sudden he's trying to figure out, why am I getting in trouble now? It's because you were actually having a positive loop, a positive feedback that the thing that you were doing wrong, you felt that it was right because people were encouraging you to do it. And that's what's going on right now. Looting and rioting and killing and beating up people and burning down neighborhoods, burning down stores. Since they got all this media and all these organizations that's backing them up, they feel like what they're doing is right.
Yeah, and that's, I've been saying this forever, that they were trying to sexualize children. And when you see them bringing drag queens into the school, it seems like the parents would say, no, I don't pay taxes for my child to go to school where a drag queen's trying to teach him, and then find out later on, hey, this drag queen has a record for pedophilia. Oh, well, what did you expect? There's something wrong with them anyway, dressing like a woman. I mean, it used to be, it was a mental disorder. Now it's accepted as normal. There's nothing normal about a man dressing up like a woman, and honestly, they look like freaks. Most women don't look like that.
What? Okay, go ahead.
It's just scary that these kids growing up are thinking that that's normal, and it's not. Well, and to me, it's just a way for pedophiles to get a hold of kids. I showed you that movie about where they're trying to push. That's in Hollywood. They're trying to say, hey, it's okay for grown men or grown women to date children. No, it's really not.
I don't know if you okay. Right. You seen the video I did on that doctor lady that was up there speaking, saying that pedophilia is a sexual orientation and it shouldn't be frowned upon and all that. I don't know if you've seen that video.
Yeah. I watched it.
See stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. It's like they want to implement these weird things in there for it to be accepted. And the issue with it, though, is that, again, I think, and I say this all the time, I talk to my minister friends about this. I'm not saying that we are the blame, but I am going to say that we are the blame, if you know what I mean. I don't know what you even call that when you do things like that. But the reason why I'm saying it is because too many ministers are jellybacks. They are scared because they feel it's going to mess with their money or whatever like that. I just know that it's completely messed up, because in the end, if they happen to die, they are going to have to stand before him and explain. Matter of fact, they gonna go to hell. I mean, because it's like you ain't gonna be able to explain your way out of that. How can you explain to God, who sat there, know his rituals? You're gonna explain to God why you decided not to sit there and tell the people the truth. How are you gonna explain it to him? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't.
Revelation tells how people think right is wrong and wrong is right, and well, that's what's going on. Because when they tell me, oh, there's more than two genders, I'm thinking, well, all through school, all we learned about was two genders. Oh no, there's these gender this and gender that and gender this. I'm like, you're just making stuff up.
It's like over 100.
Make something up too. Don't mean it's true. I could say, hey, I'm as rich as Donald Trump. Don't mean I am.
Right.
Hey, I own this bank right here.
Right.
Well, you should give me your bank. I mean, their ideology is just misconstrued craziness.
Okay. Lethal just said people have questions for me and you. Everybody that's in this chat right now, make sure that if you are in here, if you are trying to get my attention, or on here, Miss Mama Don, she's on here as Drew Mitchum. If you're trying to get my attention or hers, make sure if you're on the computer, put the @ sign and start to spell out my name. When you start to spell out modern, it should fill it in. When it fills it in, hit enter, type your message, hit enter again. Do the same thing for Drew Mitchum. Type in DREW. It should fill it in. When it fills it in, hit enter, type your message out, hit enter. If you are on a tablet or a phone, put the @ sign and put capital MRM, spell it out. If you want to do that, the same thing her. You know, everybody knows her and we know her as Mama Don. But if you don't know her, put the @ sign, same exact thing. Try to put Drew Mitchum, and then we can see the question. So I don't know what question it is that somebody have for us because I don't see nothing highlighted.
It is. Yes, I'm as beautiful as I sound.
Is that what they say?
I know that's what they're thinking. I don't see any questions though.
That's what I was. Well, we might have. I mean, it was flying. So who?
Night, Kara.
You said good night, or you said no? I ain't.
I said good night. She said night. Drew Mitchum got a jet, but good hearing you. I'm waiting on a question. I guess that was it. That was the only question they had was about how gorgeous I am. Picture an angel.
Who was that?
Picture an angel with a halo and wings, and that's me. Yes, I still love George Strait.
That's because he's straight. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, let's take it. I'll tell you, I got into politics when I was very, very young. And I'll tell you exactly when it was when I got my first paycheck.
Go ahead and tell them. I'll be back.
Taxes taken out.
Lord.
Oh, Lord. Lethal, he dances all the time. He sings all the time. He's a nut. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Which way did it go? Which way did it go? I also like watching cartoons. Looney Tunes mostly, if you're wondering.
Daniel Bellows, I've been following you for a short time, but I appreciate all you do. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next thing. We already talked about Kyle Rittenhouse and how it seemed like everything that, as of right now, he's been charged with first-degree murder. But you know what? I can tell you right now, most likely, that's going to be dropped because I'm pretty sure that the police and whoever is investigating is going to watch all videos extensively, and they're going to see that he was fleeing, he got attacked. They're going to see again that he was fleeing and he got attacked. So in order to have first-degree murder, you got to have an intent that you was there to intentionally murder somebody. And right from the beginning, he kind of killed that narrative right there because he said, I'm here and I have this to protect myself. I'm here with this Medipack in case somebody gets hurt. I'm here to protect the business. And you know what? To be quite honest with you guys, I said it maybe about 3 weeks ago. I told people, folks are going to get tired of y'all coming there and tearing that stuff up. And it's going to be a matter of time before folks start shooting back. I said that. Police, I'm telling them it's going to happen. I told them, I said it before. See, the people down there where I live near St. Louis, okay? And those people that were defending their property, look what they did. Look how much trouble they got in for defending their property. I knew it was going to be only a matter of time before somebody got tired of it and the boy was being attacked. I'm sorry, y'all. There's no ifs and buts about it. Rittenhouse was being attacked and he turned around and defended himself all 3 times. He did. He defended himself. And if we be quite honest with you, whoever can find out whoever the dude was with the white jeans on that drop kicked them in the head, they need to find out who he is and he should be arrested for assault.
Yep.
Plain and simple. But people gonna look over, but he shot people. So no. No, you don't do that. You pursued and ran after a dude that had a high-powered rifle, a AR. You gonna run after him and try to come on, man.
Well, I was watching the DNC convention, which was boring, but mostly all they talked about, especially Michelle Obama, it blew my mind. It was almost like she was trying to bait black people into some sort of war with white people, saying, how, white people are just trying to basically kill them as people's walking out the door. I'm like, oh my gosh, really? I've never heard such nonsense. I mean, I've never bothered anybody. I don't know anybody who's ever bothered anybody, black or white, or, and for her to sit there and just talk about how the police are just going out there and the people who believe her, because she was the first lady, they think she's telling the truth. She's lying. She's lying out her face.
Right. I think, man, I think that's one of the biggest issues right there. See, people need to I need to make this crystal clear to everybody. The things that I am for are things that are absolutely right, things that are of truth. If it's not of the truth, I'm going to say something about it. I don't care if it's coming from the left. I don't care if it's coming from the right. I will be like, okay, what they said right there on the right side, they lied. That's not true. Da, 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 da. I'll say this person on the left, what they said right there, that is not true. Da, da. That's why I keep on telling people, go outside and look out in your own world. But they know, just like on this channel, Mama Don, I can click on the button right now and it will show me. It don't show me where you guys live, but it shows me in the United States. It shows me across the whole world what state and how it's lit up is watching me right now. It's crazy. It's really weird. So if they let me see that much, how many of you guys are watching and where state and all that you guys are watching from, imagine what they know about anybody that's watching TV, period. Like if you got like I don't know what the news outlets are, whoever these news outlets are, if I can see this from YouTube, I'm pretty sure they can see what region of the country or the world is watching them. And if that many people is watching them and they're pushing these ideologies or this narrative on them, let's just say if you got 30 million people watching you, and let's just say 15 million of the people actually believe you. That's like a huge number of folks that believes that.
Yeah. And like you said, when they sit there and tell all these lies and tell people, and I'm more a libertarian because I still think the Republicans spend too much money. I think the IRS is basically stealing from me because I pay a lot of taxes, and I don't think my money should go to things that I disagree with, like abortion.
Right.
I disagree with it. I don't think I should have to pay for somebody's abortion. Not at all. And they're like, well, rape. Let me tell you, rape is less than 1%. Less than 1%. Nowadays, they have what's called the morning after. If you are raped, you go to the hospital. They will hand you that morning after pill then and there. Right then.
To keep anything from even happening.
It's not needed. I mean, and I'm not going to, I think the IRS should pay, the government should pay for, taking care of the country, which is the Marines and the Army and, our military. And I think they should help states out in cases of emergency. But that's it. I don't think there should be a whole lot. I mean, some of it is so stupid. I'm thinking, really? We're paying, at one point I was reading, I think it was when Bill Clinton was president, we were spending money on tested food in prison.
What? No worries.
I'm like, I don't care what they eat. Give them pizza beans every day. I don't care.
Wow.
I mean, if people would look at some of the stuff that their money goes to, it would blow their minds because it's not. It's little stuff like that. It's like I said. Just like all this money they're wanting to give to the post office. The post office is a mess. I was in there the other day. There's 20 people in front of me. Every one of them had an issue of some kind. One man said he put in for a change of address, and they said, "Oh no, you canceled it." He said, "No, I didn't cancel it." So they had to go do that again. He said, "How do I know you ain't going to mess it up again?" The post office is a mess. But they give them billions and billions of dollars, and they charge you every time you go in there and send anything. So, I mean, where does all this money go to the post office? Yes, they pay the workers, but billions. I'm not talking about millions. I'm talking billions of dollars goes to them.
Absolutely,
and they still
ridiculous.
fuss about they don't make enough.
Nope. I'm going to address this question here real quick. Elise Fincher says, MRM, it really diminishes your message of peace when you use violence to get that message across. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about right there.
I think he's talking, I don't think he's talking about you. I think he's maybe telling you that when they do it, when they're sitting there trying to get a message across and they use violence.
Oh, see, yeah, okay. I don't know because
they're showing us is their violence.
Okay, right. But I mean, when they say MRM, it really diminishes your. Okay, I see what you say. That's why it's important. At least I think, like what Mama Don just explained, I'm thinking that's what you meant. I don't know. That's why when you read these things right here, it needs to be so much clarity in there. Like she said, MRM, it really will diminish certain people's message of peace when all they are doing is exciting violence. Because to me, it seems like she's saying like that's what I'm saying. So, but I'm not. I don't know. Yeah, I'll let you clarify that though, at least. So I won't rebuttal on that yet. So.
Well, I mean, that's what I thought she meant, or whoever it was. But, you know, like I said, when you feel like you're at home and you're scared somebody's going to come, you know, down your neighborhood, well, I hate to say it, if they come down our neighborhood, they will get shot because most everybody around here, including us now, has a gun.
But you, see, and what's crazy about this is that I'm just being like I told you. I talked on the phone with you personally about some stuff that my family is about. What people don't understand is that even in people that are, I'm just telling y'all, even amongst thugs, gangsters, families like the mob, I'm talking about families. Families run a lot of gangs. People don't know this anyway. With that being said, what people don't understand is that there is a level of respect that even the thugs and criminals have for each other. I don't come on your territory trying to do anything. Don't you come on my territory trying to do anything. We got things mapped out. Don't come over here. Don't come over there. Don't try to come over and do things on our bit. Don't try to come and do. Don't try to double cross us by doing. Don't do any of that. So if gangs and families of these criminal families know these particular rules and everything, how is it that you expect me to allow a group of folks to come into my neighborhood and telling me that I need to give up what I work for and all that? Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm telling you, whatchamacallit, I hope and pray that it doesn't happen. But what Kyle Rittenhouse did, that's just a taste, because they didn't show. Now imagine these people showing up in some good suburban neighborhoods where these people are actually going to be exercising their amendment, and you come there trying to go bust out their windows, and you're going to get met with gunfire because they're going to have their kids in there, they're going to have their wife in there. You come in there just because you mad about something, want to throw bricks through the window, and they sitting there, a brick doesn't equate to a gun. Well, what if the brick would have hit his little kid in the head and killed them? So I'm telling you, now you come to the wrong neighborhood, you're going to be straight shot. Plain and simple.
You got a message from Ramona Alvarez. It says, I'm sure you've heard about 17-year-old armed boy from Illinois.
That's what she's talking about right now.
Wisconsin protest.
Ramona, you are about an hour late. We've been talking about this same thing for an hour, Ramona. MRM, sorry, it cut me off. I mean, it diminishes anyone who preaches they want equality. Okay, Elise, thank you for clarifying that, sis. So she was saying what you said, Mama Don. Okay. Appreciate that, at least, and my fault that I was getting ready to jump into it. Like, wait a minute, so told you I'm human too. That's why I'm glad that we talked this out and clarified it. MRM, have you met a racist police officer? If I did, I didn't know it. But as far as no, oh wait, I take that back. Yeah, I think, you know what? Matter of fact, I did. But he wasn't a racist. He was somebody that was a racist cop. And he came and spoke at our after-school organization and broke it down to us of why he was a racist police officer, but he no longer is. So when you say it like that, yes, but have I ever been like approached by a police officer that I could say was racist or anything like that? I wouldn't know, but I do know that when I did tell my stories of the different times that a police officer has stopped me, whether I was walking and, they profiled me, whatever like that, because I fit the description of X, Y, and Z, whoever it may be. I know that my community, when I told them about that, like, see, man, these mother effing racist cops, that's crazy, man. They just profiled you. I'm like, well, you know what? I did have on black jogging pants and a white t-shirt. Oh, come on, man. You can't know. I'm dead serious. Like, the dude that they were looking for, he had on black jogging pants and a white t-shirt, and I have on black jogging pants and a white t-shirt. The officer said, where are you going? I said, I'm going home. He was like, where do you live? I was like, I live on such and such. He was like, well, where are you leaving from? And I was like, well, I'm leaving from school, from having track practice. Why? And he was like, well, okay, can you tell me your name? I'm like, well, wait a minute. Why? What do you? First of all, what do you do? No, I know my street law. It was like, do you suspect me of a crime? He was like, well, actually, you per se, no, but yes, I do, because they said a young man that was a black male had on a white T-shirt and a black jogging pants. They just got in a real crazy fight back there, and they said the dude ran off. And so, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So he stepped out of his car. He was like, so do you mind if I ask you some questions? I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. Because if I was innocent, I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, I went in a fight. Matter of fact, I was just like, I was ready to answer any questions he wanted to throw at me. He was like, so you're coming from school? I'm like, yeah, I just came from track practice. And he's like, what school do you go to? I told him what school I go to. My coach name is Coach Bill Hardback. I literally just came from walking from school, and he was like, okay, well, do you mind if I look at your hands? And I showed him my hands and all this. He looked at my clothes. He said, well, you look pretty clean, so it don't look like you've been in a fight or anything like that. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take your name down. And you say you live, up on such and such street. I'm like, yeah. Well, I'm going to go back here and ask a few more questions. He's like, now, I hope I know you're not, but I hope you're not lying to me to where I have to come back to your house and arrest you because you lied to me. I'm like, no, I'm not lying. And that was it. But then when I went home and told people from the hood, like, oh, man, I got pulled over. A police officer stopped me, and most of them was like, oh, come on, man, that's crazy. They just racially profiling you and da-da-da-da-da. And next thing you know, about 2 days later, the dude that got in the fight almost beat somebody to death. And the dude that when they caught him, he still had on, 2 days later, this dude didn't even change clothes. He still had on a dingy, dirty white T-shirt and black jogging pants. Now, nobody waited for the facts to come out first. What they all the police officer racially profiled you. That's what racist white police officers do, man. No, I don't care about that. They seen you. I mean, see what I'm saying? So I didn't jump on bandwagon with everybody else that was defending me. And since everybody defended me and saying the police officer racist, I'm not gonna say that because I don't want them to be mad at me. The type of person that I am, as y'all can see today, I'm like, no, he was just asking legit questions. No, man, see, that's what they want you to think. They want you to think, but homie was profiling you, cuz. I'm like, no, he wasn't. He was just literally asking questions. But what if I would have turned my mind over to thinking how they wanted me to think? And every police officer that ever spoke to me or said anything to me, I'm about to meet them with, gosh, why y'all bothering me? Dang, I ain't even doing. I mean, come on, man. No.
Well, it's like this. When my son turned 16, he went to pick up his friend and hadn't went far. He was right near the high school he went to. And he was pulled over by a cop the day he got his license. Well, he was nervous. Well, the cop was like, why are you so nervous? Because he's shaking. My son shakes. I don't know why he does that. But his hands were shaking, and he put them, not handcuffs, but the tie things, and sat him and his friend on the curb while he searched his truck. And nothing happened. Nobody got hurt. And it's because I told him, I said, if you ever get pulled over, just do what they say. It's not rocket science. Right. If they tell you to roll over on the ground and play dead, do it.
Right.
And later on, if they do say you did something that you didn't do, you can go get a lawyer. Guess what? That lawyer say, hey, you don't have to pay me nothing unless you get paid. Because you're going to get paid something if they accuse you of something you didn't do.
Exactly.
And it's funny how they always have a camera. They always got a camera. I'm like, I've been pulled over several times. Never thought about looking at my camera out and recording. But every time they have that camera recording it, and I'm like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
Right.
People recording it.
And
quit recording. Just do what they say.
Right. I mean, like with that officer that I just told you about, I mean, that's exactly what I did. The man was because they don't know. He was stern, but he wasn't what I want to call like mean or aggressive. He was just like, what's your name? Where'd you just come from? What school? Da-da-da-da-da. See, people would take that like, man, why you gotta be hard? I mean, I was just like, because he don't know. In his mind, people forget. And I just noticed from being in medicine, people, when you have on a uniform, people just automatically just I don't know why it leaves their mind that you're not even a human being anymore. They act like you are some trained robot that ain't supposed to. I mean, you are a human being, and the man did not know. Here I am, this built athlete, whatever like that. I look like I probably could knock somebody out. I mean, I completely understood where he was coming from. I understood where he's coming from. And to this day, nobody's going to be able to try to tort me otherwise and say, well, no, you just trying to be this. And I've been pulled over 10 times for speeding, and I have not got a ticket. Every time a police officer came up, he said, he come to the window. You know why I pulled you over? I said, probably because I was going somewhere between 6 and 10 miles over the speed limit. And they'll usually, because of my personality, they snicker. What if I don't know why you pulled me over? Because y'all always mess with it because I'm black. Because I'm black. Now, instantly by me doing that, I'm about to make this dude irritated.
If you sit there and admit to it and you're really polite, sometimes you can get out of it. I've never had a ticket and I've been pulled over.
Every single time. I don't even look. I'm just being me. Matter of fact, I had a little, disagreement with some people that I work with. I told them not once when I got pulled over did I ever go, oh, hands on the steering wheel, look forward. Don't. I didn't do none of that. I just sat there and pulled over, and I was just sitting there just like this. When he came to the window, how you doing today? I'm doing good, sir. How are you doing? I don't know how I'm doing yet. It depends on if you get ready to give me this ticket or not. I mean, that's how I am with them. But yeah. I just can't imagine if the officer came up and pulled me over and he come to the window. You know why I pulled you over? You pulled me over because I'm black. I wasn't even doing nothing. Why did you pull me over? I mean, what? He instantly like, dude, I'm just like, you see what I'm saying? And that's what we need to, we don't need to teach anybody that. Matter of fact, I haven't even, my sons are 18 and 16, both drivable age, okay? I never once had to talk with my sons, my black sons, by the way. I never had no talk with my sons and saying, now, look now, if the police pull you over, put your hands on the steering wheel, and I ain't doing none of that crap. My sons know how to respect authority. They've been taught that from a young age. The first authority thing that they learned how to respect was their daddy and their mama. And then as they grew up, they were told the same thing. Boy, if you take your butt to school, I better not hear about you saying or being mean to that teacher at all, or I'm going to tear your butt up. So they have it in their mind, I got to go to school and respect the teacher, because now the authority, since I'm away from my dad, the authority is now the teacher. The teacher is now your daddy and your mama when you at school, because if they tell you to do something, I don't care if you don't want to do it. You better do it. If the teacher do something and you don't think that it was right, come home and tell me. Then we're going to go there. We're going to have a discussion with your teacher. But you better not get smart. You better not talk crap. We will deal with it, because I'm the one that can get in your teacher butt more than what you can. But I better not hear about you disobeying that teacher and and showing your butt out, because I'm not going to wait for you to get home. I told them teachers, my sons, I called these teachers before. When my sons get in trouble, I know that both me and my wife name are listed on there, and I know that I'm working and my wife is not, but call me first. Don't call my wife. Call me first. I'm telling you, I did not mess around. So whenever, if, and that's a big if my sons ever get pulled over, I don't have to teach them how to deal and talk with authority, because they know. They're going to know how to respect authority, how to talk from one human being to another. Now, I ain't about to put it in. Why would I put that fear in my son's head? When you get pulled over, son, it might be a chance you might not make it back. Come on now. BS. Absolute BS.
I was watching something on TV. I can't remember the name, Blackish. And one of the things, I quit watching it because I did watch it. I thought it was funny. And the guy was telling his son, warning him about being pulled over. You might not make it back, And I'm like, are you serious?
See what I'm saying?
Are you just trying to make your kids so terrified?
I mean,
how about you teach them to be respectful? I mean, I was little when we were taught to say yes, ma'am, no, sir, thank you. I mean, we were always taught to respect our elders. If we were sitting down and there's one chair and someone older, we would have to give up our chair and sit on the floor.
Right.
I mean, this was since probably 5 or 6 we were taught these things. And nowadays, it's not taught.
Mm-hmm.
Kids are taught, they're taught to disrespect other people. I've watched things that just blows my mind. How people think of other people's grandparents and just punch them in the face. And I'm like,
man,
why?
No.
Why would you do that?
No.
But you don't see, I mean, there's I guess it's called a knockout game, where they'll go and just knock
I heard of that.
people out.
Yes.
And I'm like, why? Why would you do this to old people? And why aren't these families, going and saying, you need to do something with these punks going around doing this? This is not a good thing.
I'm telling you, y'all, all 96 people that's listening to me right now, we all just heard what Mama Don just said, right? I'm telling y'all right now, what she just got done saying about what these kids are doing, I can guarantee you, they do not have real parents at home. Not real parents, not no real daddies and real mamas, not real ones. They got like some friends. That's what, I'm telling you right now, I do not care. Y'all can sit there and say all you want to. Oh, I don't know about that. My son, he's 18. He grown, right? By number, but not by maturity. But anyway, my point is saying all that. Let me hear about my sons doing anything like that. You want to knock somebody out? I'm going to show you what they feel. I'm going to knock you clean out. And then the police come to arrest me. I'm going to say, I'm going to bail out. When I get bailed out, my son better not be at home when I get there. I am not going to risk nobody being disrespectful, being a thug, being a gangster, any of that stuff. Not in my kingdom, not in my house. Yeah, I'll go to jail over that. You're doing right. I want to, man, I can't believe, oh, guys, did you hear about MRM? You thought he was a Christian man? Oh, you know, he punched his son and knocked his son out. Well, some kind of dad he is. But ain't nobody going to sit there and say, well, why did nobody going to sit there? Only the ones that know me real well. You guys will be like, well, wait a minute. That ain't like MRM. So his son must have did something really crazy to make MRM punch him and knock him out. Y'all would know that because y'all be like, that's not like him. And then when the facts come out, oh, Ty's son ran upon a 90-year-old woman and punched her in the back of the head and knocked her unconscious. She's now in a coma and fighting for her life in the hospital. Then people be like, well, I don't think he still should have punched his son. I mean, get out of here. I'm going to let him see what it feels like. I'm not telling you. People got to have that type of respect at their children. You have to have that type of set the respect boundaries at your children. Your children are your children. They're not your friends. I don't raise my sons in a way to where when they grow up, that I don't even from kids. I'm not raising my sons to like me. I'm not raising my sons to them to be my friend. Oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings because my sons may not like me. Kids more than anybody know how to forgive. My sons have gotten their butts whooped plenty of times. Ask either one of them right now if they hate their dad. No. I don't care what these psychiatrists, this fake narrative stuff they got out there. Well, spanking your children will cause them. No, it didn't. Me and the people that I grew up with, we got our butts tore up. We still love our mamas. Still love our mom. And we sit there and thank them for whooping us because it kept our butts from getting in trouble. But people ain't going to say that. Nobody want to ask them, okay, people like me, look at, I am a long-term effect of getting spankings. Do I seem like I'm somebody that need to have somebody put me in order? Do I seem like I need to be, oh, just give him some pills while he's in this room. He needs to have his anxiety level. He needs to have some, he needs to have some antidepressants. He ADD. No, ADD. No, you got a BEAT if you was acting up in school. I'm just saying. That's just what I'm saying, folks. We are making too many excuses for these kids and for these middle-aged or for these teenagers or these mid-teen folks to do all the stuff that they're doing. I can guarantee you, those people that are doing a lot of stuff we're seeing right now, they don't have no real moms and real dads at home.
Yeah, they're not taught respect, and they're wild. And I'm like, why do you have to yell so much? Do you need attention that badly? Calm down and tell me what you want. If my kid yelled at me and screamed at me like that, I'd probably take my flip flop off and beat him.
Man, my sons will catch my hand so quick. I mean, I'm telling you,
Well, that's what I'm saying. My kids are bigger than me. My boys are all bigger than me. And my go-to is the broom or my flip-flop. I remember my son wrecked our golf cart into this woman who just bought a brand new car. He wasn't supposed to be on the golf cart. He's 14. He wasn't allowed to drive it. Mm-hmm. We were at the beach, and you have to be 16 to drive it. Well, he decided he was going to move it. It didn't need to be moved. But he backed it up off a hill, gassed it into a car that she had just drove off the lot down to the beach. I beat that child from one in that house, and this was a huge house. I was so mad I couldn't see straight. I said, if I don't beat you now, your daddy's going to kill you. And it was true. If I didn't beat him, I knew his daddy was going to kill him because he had to walk away. He was so mad. He said, if I go near him, I'll kill him myself.
Man.
Because you have to teach your kids, hey, if you do something wrong, you're going to be punched.
Yeah.
We had to pay for that.
Yes.
And then he had to pay us back because we made him get a job cutting grass.
Yep. And, it's right now, like I said, it's sad because these parents, I hear parents tell me things like, well, you know what, you can't whip your kid because if you do, they're going to take you to jail. Y'all, do not fall for this stuff. What the police will do, they will have them come and check to see if there's actually any real abuse on the child. But if they see that it's not, they're going to tell that child, look, if you want stuff to stop happening, you probably want to stop doing what you're doing because there is no abuse on this child or anything like that. Case is closed. Now, then y'all want to turn around and get mad because the police actually like arrested an 8-year-old kid or a 7-year-old kid. But these kids can hit their parents. But if the parents spank the kid, the parent gonna be the one going to jail. But then you get mad that if the kid get arrested, they shouldn't be arresting that 8-year-old. I mean, okay. That I guarantee that 8-year-old changed. I bet that changed that 8-year-old kid's life. I'm telling you. They put that bling bling on his wrist. It changed his life.
I'd kill mine probably if I not go to jail for something. I love my kids. But they, it's always been in our family. When we were young, we didn't have a lot. So our name was important. It used to be, you didn't want to do something to embarrass or humiliate your family. Nowadays, they don't care.
Man.
They don't have any self-respect.
Nope.
They don't care.
Nope.
Like I watch some of these people get on TV, and I don't know what it is about the South, but if you ever watch, anytime there's a hurricane or something bad happens, they find the dumbest redneck they can find to talk. And I'm like, really? There was nobody else around.
Come on.
Idiot.
You know what, Mama Don? What you're saying is absolutely right. When I was in Florida, I've seen that a lot. And what I thought was really fascinating, I'm like, now where I came from in the city, they did the same thing with a black person. They're gonna find the most great. And I was standing out there, I said, whoa, man. And she said, who? And I was like, you ain't got no business doing like that. And they was like, hey, I'm like, what? They come on now. Then they said, it's going down over here. The thing, it's going down. Hey. And you sitting there like,
all of us are uneducated. We might talk like we are, but we are, smart folks.
I mean, that's what, come on. It's just, y'all, people know that's what they want to do. They want to do it to make people look exactly what a lot of people stereotype them as. That's what they want to do. Like they're just.
Well, it's like, I don't know if you've ever heard of, what is his name? He does those HBO TV shows. I know somebody on here probably knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah, because I sure don't.
He said that he's talking about the rich, the elite. He says, well, we have some, big time chef, and y'all have Chef Boyardee. And I'm thinking, well, something about food they cook looks nasty to me. I'm not going to eat fish heads. And, you just keep that. I'm not going to do it. And some of them look like vomit and try to say, oh, this is your dinner.
Right.
No, that looks like something I threw up after dinner. Right. No, I'm not eating that.
This is fish bouchoulet het bleu with the chef de la cooked in bouchoulet in wine, and you're like, okay, that just looked like
squid, octopus. No, I can't even imagine it going in. French food is just not right.
Yeah, something's really different about a lot of that. Something is really different about a lot of that. So let's see here. Now what I'm gonna do, I know we already did that. Never mind, we already talked about him. We talked about Blake. Now we're talking about the reason why the kids are out of control right now because they don't have no parenting or anything like that. And now I guess what I can do right now, I can kind of open it up and see if anybody want to ask Mama Don any questions or ask me any questions. Because I know now some of y'all are wanting to, so make sure now.
I'll throw my shoe down. When I was too lazy to get up, I just throw my shoe at them.
People know, man, y'all.
Why do you do that, Mama? Why do you do that? Yeah. In my house, I just had to shake a wooden spoon.
Man, I had an auntie that she didn't even move her arm to whip you. She used her wrist. And what she do, go out there and get 3 switches. And then what they say, go get 3 good switches. I'm like, so I thought I was gonna be slick one time. I went and got the thinnest switches in the world. And she said, sit down. That's what she did. She said, sit down. And she took them 3 switches and she braided them. And I'm telling you, she didn't move her arm, she just moved her wrist and was tap, 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 tap. Got tore up. Folks, oh my God, that's abusive. Look what I am right now.
My mama used to tell me to get in the bathtub, and then she get the hickory. Wow, wet.
Shoot.
You don't have to do it hard. She gets you in between your legs right there. Just go back and forth. Scream bloody murder.
Man. And the thing is, people look at that like that's hatred. No, your parent loved you that much to show you that whatever it is that you did is showing you that they don't ever want you to do that again. Because you learn. I'm not comparing people to animals or anything like that. But the way they train animals to do things and be obedient is a lot of people inflict pain. Now, folks, follow me now. I'm not talking about beat the animal or anything like that. I'm talking about if an animal is not like doing what they want to do, they'll pop it or something like that. You see them do it. So now there is other ways as well. Not all children are the same. With my sons, both of them got their butts whooped. But my oldest son, he didn't get not even nearly a quarter of the whoopings that my younger one got. My younger one was just like me growing up. So I'm like, yeah, I already know this is gonna be a little different. He required more spankings than my older one. My older one, I can just look at him and bite my lip and like quiver my face at him. Yeah. I mean, that sometimes that was enough. But the younger one, nope. As soon as he did, I had to get him.
I remember I was like 4 years old, and I was crawling underneath the pews at church. I got in trouble at church all the time. I mean, probably every Sunday. Mama grabs me to take me out to whoop me. Well, I start grabbing hold of the pew because I know what's going to happen. I start screaming for somebody to help me. Now, I was 4. And to this day, people who were there will say, remember when you grabbed hold of the pews and started asking everybody to help me, somebody help me? I'm like, how do you remember that? I'm 4, but they will come up to me and people remember me. And I don't know why, if I've got one of those faces that's just memorable, but I remember my sister's best friend. Mm-hmm. I hadn't seen her since I was like 8, since they graduated. And she came up to me in a store, I can't remember if it was Food Line, and says, oh my gosh, it's Limbo Hurley. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know who you are. But she was a friend of my sister's, and I didn't remember her, but she remembered me.
Man, yes. I bet they did one time. I think one of my brothers, he thought he was gonna be slick, and he was getting a whooping, and he had some shorts on. This, you start seeing some tissue coming down the back of his. He sat there trying to stuff tissue in his drawers and all that. His shorts on, and you see the tissue.
Oh, my son thought he was going to be smart. He put on 5 or 6 pairs of underwear, and I didn't whoop with the belt. Like I said, it's usually a shoe or something. My husband had the belt, and he went in there and he said, I can tell you got more than 1 pair of underwear because his jeans were so tight. It was one of the first of them. He had like 10 pairs of underwear.
Man. Yeah, my wife didn't hear about it all the time from my family. Is that I got the most whoopings. I was a terrible, crazy, out of control, bad child. That's when my wife go see my family, especially in Tennessee. She hear from all family. They say this man, woo-wee. I mean, one of my aunts sat there and told my wife. She said he tortured me so bad driving to Tennessee. I wanted to throw him out the window. I mean, that's. Y'all just don't know. I was straight OC. Y'all would never, you seem so nice, and I was crazy. Now, I'm not saying it is gone, because you will see that come out if you try to do something to my family, any of my loved ones. That's why I tell people all the time. I would defend, man, y'all don't know. That's why I say whenever I go out, and if I do have like an open talk and a debate with people, they want to get all, I'm like, look, I understand that you're mad, but do not get this close to me. I have
4 boys.
And don't start sitting there. You said you got 4 boys. My mom had 4 too. So yeah. It's no joke, man. But
people used to come in my house and say, "Oh my God, your house is so clean. I have so many kids." And I'm like, "Wait, my house is just empty. They've broken everything. Literally everything. They broke every picture frame, every nick, everything. They used to wrestle, and they put holes in my walls, one through the other one through the wall, and his butt went through the wall, literally, and put this big butt print in the wall. I mean, that's when I had the broom. Mm-hmm. It was just beating and trying to get him off his brother.
Man, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's no joke. You just, if I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Who is it? And I mean, I get it, folks. I really do. I hope folks are not going to be reading into this the wrong way. We have a clear distinction, the difference between spanking your child and disciplining them and beating them. Okay, like me, I know how hard I can hit my child whenever I was spank them. I knew what the limits was. Matter of fact, I think my sons really didn't even get the belt or anything like that until they were like 10, 11, 12-ish, whatever like that. But when they were younger, I would just lean. I would how I'm sitting right now, their legs would be right here. I would put my hand like this over there. I'll use this pillow as an example. If this was them, I would clamp their legs like this. Let me show y'all. I would clamp their legs like this. I would take their back and bend them over. I would pull them drawers down, and I would tear that butt up. That's what I would do. So they couldn't sit there and try to do all that crazy, because it makes it worse than that. It makes me like, oh my God. So I just made sure that they didn't. I made sure they didn't do any of that because that stuff just makes it even worse. I'm like, you gonna sit here and I lock them up and you're gonna take these 5 licks and then go on. And don't you try to go to your mom either. Try to get some comfort. Go in your room and sit down and think about what you just did. So don't try to, mama, nuh-uh. I wish you come here again. Okay, I'm gonna go to my room. You better go. But guess what? My sons all through school, teachers complimented all the time. You have the most well-respected sons, and I'm only saying this because I just can't believe you don't see this anymore. They're so respectful. They offer their help. I don't never have any trouble. I mean, all the time. And it's like, well, whatever you did, good. I was like, you can ask them what I do if there has something happen. Yes, I'm not embarrassed. Ask them. So,
one time, Alex, we had a big, huge Sunday dinner every Sunday. And Alex decided that he was going to wash the dishes in my bathtub. I lost my mind. I thought I had mental retardation in my children because who does that? Who takes all the dishes and puts them in the bathtub? I lost it. I was crying, and my husband's like, "What are you crying? Just calm down." I'm like, "Well, they're stupid. Who does that?" I mean, it was Alex, the same one who used the golf cart. He did that. And then one time we were getting ready to go to school. I said, "Alex, put some warm water on the dog's bowl because his water bowl's frozen." Well, he thinks the dog's cold, so he throws hot water on my dog in the freezing cold outside.
Man.
So I had to bring the big dog that we had, a golden retriever. I had to bring her inside because he threw water on it. It was warm water, and I'm like, it's cold. It's like 20 degrees outside. What are you thinking?
Oh, man.
Again.
That is crazy. That is too funny, man. Washing dishes in the tub, though, I've never heard that in my life. That's classic, man.
Me neither. And he has done more stuff than any other child. He threw pizza on the floor one time. I'm like, why? I just wanted to see if it stick. Really?
Your kids ever done something that it wasn't when they did it, you may have felt initially that it was spanking worthy, but then you didn't do it because you're like, what the heck? It's like when you just kind of just look at them like, and I've done it before. Now, what I'm talking about is going to embarrass him. My son had to be around 4 or 5 years old. And I walked past the bathroom and I hear the water running and I didn't think nothing of it. Then like 10 minutes later, I walked past again and the water was running. And so I just kind of turned the doorknob real slow so you couldn't hear anything. I turned it so the little whatever you want to call it comes out the little hole, whatever. And I opened the door and looked in there real slow. This fool standing up on the sink, butt naked, looking at his booty and dancing, and then turning back around and looking at himself dancing. And then I opened the door even more, and he looking in the mirror at my reflection. I'm looking at him. He looking at me. I just gave him but then I just looked at him, and then I just slammed the door shut. And I think that was enough to get the message across. And we still talk about it to this day. But it was one of the moments where I don't know whether to whoop you or I didn't know what to do. I was just like, let me slam this door. This nut sitting here looking at his butt. I mean, he just sitting there just looking at it. And he turned around and I just
Alex never had a filter. Alex, we were driving. We had come back from Carowinds amusement park, and I was at a stop sign. And in Charlotte, where we live, you don't see streetwalkers. But in Charlotte, there was a streetwalker. And I looked at my friend and said, "Oh my gosh, there's a streetwalker." Well, my brilliant child, rolls down the window and says, "My mother said you're a streetwalker. What does that mean?" And I thought, I'm going to kill him. I mean, I'm waiting on this light turn, and I'm thinking, but I was laughing. I don't know if I wanted to beat him or what.
Exactly. And you know what? That's what I'm saying. It's those things like this, those moments. Now, I did something that actually it embarrassed my wife too. My son, my oldest son, had to be around 4 years old, right? And I was, my brother was he probably was 5. But anyway, what happened is that we were actually shopping. And you know how kids, he liked to be in the front of the shopping cart. Like he was where you put the food at. He actually was in that part of it. He just like standing up, whatever like that. And so, oh my God, we happened to be in the aisle and a midget was walking by. And my son is sitting here like this on the cart. And while he's looking at this man walk by, he looked at me, he goes, and I'm like, he said, Daddy, look, it's a little bitty man. It's a little bitty man, Daddy. I'm like, shut up. He's like, no, Daddy, look, he this big. I walked off and left my wife and him right there. That man, the midget just kind of stopped a little bit and he just started walking. When my son did that and he said, he this big, I walked off and left my wife. Oh my God!
It takes a lot.
Oh man, dude!
I'm the one usually embarrassing somebody else. I'm constantly embarrassing somebody else.
And see, the thing is, me, I was laughing. I'm like, I knew it would have made the man mad because I walked off because I hit the corner and I bust out laughing. I just left my wife and my son there. I don't know what happened after that. It didn't even matter because I'm like, I'm real. I couldn't hold that laugh. And the fact that my son sat there and said, "Look, Daddy, it's a UB man." And I'm like, stop. It's a UB man, Dad. I'm like, shh. He's like, look, he this big. I mean, man. I lost it, man. Oh, my God.
We were coming home from church when I was about 15, and there was some boys playing football out in the field, and I blew the horn, and I went, woo, baby, and then I ducked, and then all they saw was my mom, and they were looking at my mom, and my mom was sitting there looking at me like, I'm going to kill you.
I'll do the same exact stuff. It embarrassed. My wife hates it so much. I mean, we go out, she just be hoping and praying that I don't do anything to embarrass her. Even if we pull up to a red light and the people next to us are there, I would like. I mean, don't have a kid in the back seat because I'm gonna make faces at your kid. I'm gonna make all kind of faces. Then they're going, mommy, and I'll just turn back and be like, I don't even. I mean, I'll. And then like some of these guys, I make them mad because if I pull up next to somebody and their music is completely blaring and bumping, I would like put it on like the talk radio station and turn it up super loud in my truck, and I'll pull up next to them and I'm just rocking my head like this while this talk radio show is just blaring in my car, and they'll just look at me and I mean I have fun. I have a lot of fun.
My mom's like the easiest person to embarrass, and me and my dad, we love picking on her. And we were going to go get a grill. I guess I was about 12. Mm-hmm. And me and my daddy both grabbed our pants and pulled them up above our chest and started walking like we were men. Going, Mama, come here, Mama, come get me, come get me. You better stop. And his daddy was going, Louis.
Oh my God. That is completely awesome. Completely awesome. Guys, okay, I'm trying to help y'all out here. Subscribers or ones that are here watching right now, I'm giving y'all the opportunity to ask me and Mama Don any questions. I know some of y'all have a hard time with the @ sign. So if you have questions right now, just go ahead and try to get them out because y'all hearing this conversation going on and y'all probably feeling left out. So I just want to hear if y'all have any questions or anything that we talked about tonight. I'm gonna try to read them as they come.
Somebody asked about the protest of I think it's the NBA. Somebody asked about that. How you felt about that? I saw that.
You gotta watch this video. We talked about that already. Whoever asked the question about the NBA.
Somebody said Stop and Frisk has more to do with obtaining information about a crime versus racial profiling.
You know what?
That's true.
And that's true, but at the same time, it's all about perspective. If I teach you that if they're stopping and frisking you, if I'm teaching you that that's exactly what they're doing it for, then your mind wouldn't be set on, oh, they gotta be profiling me. I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, if you're not doing nothing wrong and you're not doing nothing bad, then why are you gonna even give into want to get pissed off at them for stop and frisk? I can walk down right now if the police say, hey, stop right there. I'm going, yeah. What do you got on you? I got some keys. Well, come here. We need to look. I know my rights. No, I'm going. Oh, okay, I ain't got to hide here. Come on. No, sir. That is not a 12-inch bar. No. He just
Right. I'll tell you, the other day I got mad at my son. He was sitting there running his mouth about him being, he's an adult or whatever, but he still lives at home. And I said, you know what? You better go find Jesus before I make, meet him soon. He says, what do you mean by that? I mean, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. You don't go away. I mean, my kids.
Man. It's like I said, that's I think
Here's
that's
one, Monterey. What police reform would you like to see?
What police reform would I like to see? To be quite honest with you, I'm not gonna sit here in front and act like there aren't like bad police officers in the police force. Just like there's bad people, there's bad doctors, bad lawyers. You're gonna find bad people in all professions. What I would say, as far as this reform go, it don't just need to be a reform of police. It needs to be a reform with the black community. It needs to be a reform with the white community. It needs to be a reform with the police. It needs to be a reform with the church. It needs to be a reform. Everything needs to be reformed, and people need to be put up to me, in my opinion. I feel that people need to be encouraged to call out things that are wrong. If you are on a police force and you know that somebody on your police force is making racial jokes and anything like that, call them out on it. If you are black and you see the black people want to call white people the C word, call them out on it. If you white, you hear people there, these stupid Indians, they just call them out on it. Be about righteousness.
I think there should be better vetting of the police before they even go into the police force. Because, like I said, there's a lot of bullies that go into that for the power, and it goes to their head.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't think it has anything to do with race. I just think they're bullies.
Right. I'm glad that you said it, because it made me think of something when I said that as far as like I kind of talked to some police officers, and I told them that I would love to do this thing where I would go in there and teach them pretty much like psychological warfare. Because like I said, people forget that these men are human. Some of them don't have like the mental capacity to deal with it. Well, they shouldn't be a police officer. It's almost like, well, if you snap out and did something to somebody that was wrong, maybe you shouldn't be a human being. It doesn't work that way. These police officers are all not the same. They all got different lifestyles, different upbringings, different backgrounds, different experiences that they went through in life. But the whole point of it is to get them to actually be psychologically sound. And that's not an easy thing to do. I mean, I know people tell me, man, you keep your head level. I know, because it took a lot of me having to be in situations that tested my level-headedness to make me actually, okay, I know where I am now. Nobody can really get to me. Nobody can get to me. Nobody can cause me to get out of character or snap out or anything like that, because once I recognize what the situation is, I can calm it down. Okay, I know you mad. You yelling, but do me a favor. I'm just being real with you. We can have this conversation. Don't come close to me and start yelling, then your spit particles is getting in my face. Don't do that. I'm just telling you. That's it. What you mean? Okay, see, we don't even need to talk no more, because you just want to fight because you feel like you've been intellectually beat and you have nothing back to say, so you just want to resort to violence. And to be quite honest with you, you don't know how you think you crazy. You don't. Okay. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. We don't need to talk no more. Okay. Yes, I am. I'm a B.A. N-word. Yes, I'm a H.A. N-word. I know I'm all those things. Good. I'm glad you got it off your chest. Peace and a bottle of hair grease. I mean, so I just know if I feel myself getting to that point, I diffuse from the situation. I just stop talking. I let them call me all the names they want to call me, and then we're done.
Yeah, like I said, I think some of them are just that immaturity, because there was a boy, I remember I went to school with him, and he was a bully in school, and he was, he was going to be a cop, and he came into where I worked, and I worked at a toy store, and he was trying to show me how, to put handcuffs on, and he was so rough. I was like, dude, stop, that hurts. I don't want to play, stop. So, I mean, he was the type that should automatically, throw up a red flag or something, because there's something wrong with him. He was just, I don't know if he wanted to do it just to be rough or beat people up, but he was a bully in school. He really had no business being in power of any kind.
Again, I think a lot of things too, it can definitely stem from home teaching. even if they become police officers. I mean, it can just a lot of stuff can stem from how they were taught at home. If somebody was teaching them to always make them think and make them feel that they are in power or anything like that, it's going to be an issue while they're coming up. It's going to be an issue. But again, I agree with what somebody made a comment earlier. It is let me see. It is Seth Smaitana said they need more training at least once a week. I agree. Like, you need to go in there. Let's do a debriefing. What happened? Let's see how we probably could have handled the situation better. If they did handle the situation really good, encourage them, because encouragement will actually cause you to keep on with a certain behavior, whether it's good or bad. If you high five with somebody over calling women bees and hoes and smacking this and hitting that, it encourages people to want to do more of that. If you encourage, man, you know what? That is so awesome how you handle the situation. You handled it like a man. I know you took a lot of heat for that. I know they cussed you out, but you handled that so well, man. We need more people in our force like you. That's going to cause that person to feel good about themselves and what they do and want to go out and keep on implementing that behavior. No, it won't. Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
And somebody asked you another question. No, they just said you need to give something about how not to get your butt whooped by the police.
He said, "Say how not to get your butt whooped by the police." It's easy. Yeah. Comply.
Just do what they say.
Comply.
They tell you to bark.
I mean, just comply, man. And you know what? Like I said, I man, guys, people want to try to think that I'm making up excuses. I told them I'm going to take this camera that they sent me in. I'm going to take this bad boy and I'm going to go down some of the areas that I grew up in and show people things there. I hope some of the cops them are still alive or whatever like that, to where I can go to them and say, y'all remember when X, Y, and Z happened? Because people don't believe me when I say, that I've been stopped. And when I say stopped, I'm not talking about driving. I'm talking about walking. A lot of times I've been pulled over, and I don't care what you call it. You talking about Chicago, Decatur, Illinois, whatever, St. Louis. When I was going to school in St. Louis, I mean, I don't know what people are trying to get us to see and why they're trying to get us to see this particular way. They are out here killing us. What about we killing us? I mean, like I said, today somebody's going to be dead in Chicago, and it's not going to be by a cop. It's going to be by other black people. But, that's okay, because it's the same thing that I always say. I can talk about my mama, but you can't. I can kill my own race, but you can't.
Yep. I see all these people dying and nobody's, protesting about all these, especially children, innocent kids. That's what kills me. That black man shot that little boy, white little boy, and I thought if it'd been reversed, there'd been World War II.
You darn right it would have been World War II. That whole neighborhood would have been leveled. They would have killed everybody. They would have killed the grandmamas, the mamas. I mean, they would have killed everybody. Nobody would have had a house on that block. That block would have been a cornfield by now.
Near where I live, there's a place. It's been there for 100 years. It's been there literally 99 years. And it's called Tony's, and it's an ice cream store. And there was a woman who came in there, and one of my friends was there. We all go there probably once a week. They make hamburgers, and it's like a grill sort of. And she went in there, and she had a Black Lives Matter button on, and she decided that the girl waiting on her wasn't nice enough to her. And she started raising Cain and screaming and yelling. And the guy behind her said, she treated you just like she did the person in front of her. Maybe she's having a bad day. She said, no, she just found my button.
Oh, my God.
Out, and then all of a sudden, there's a Black Lives Matter there. And I'm like, Lord. Really, why don't you just not worry about it? If somebody's rude to me, I don't care. I don't give a crap. Just give me my food. Don't steal it.
Exactly. And I like what you said a minute ago, too, about you said them using these kids. That is absolutely sad. You got these little black kids holding signs saying, please don't murder my dad. I've made people mad. I'm like, your dad ain't even there. I mean, talking about stop killing our black dads. I don't know if you heard this, but for one, there's a good chance that your dad ain't even in your life. And then there's another good chance that your dad is probably going to be killed by somebody else that look like your dad. I mean, come on, man. Come on, it's really ridiculous, and folks still want to get
It's
mad.
a bunch of brainwashing, and I don't know if I showed you that video where that little boy, his mama, actually told him he'd have to move out of her house, and he was only 6. Where they had a mock election, and he voted for Donald Trump, and she made him pack his stuff up and get out, and she's cussing him and everything. And he's just a little boy, and I'm thinking, who talks to that little 6-year-old like that?
See, man, that's crazy. It's just straight ridiculous ignorance right there.
I'm like, if I ever saw someone talking to a child in that manner, don't get me wrong, I might go off on my child, but I'm not going to be cursing him.
I mean, my
First of all, you shouldn't use that language in front of children.
Man,
and she was using all of them.
That's sad.
All of them that I know.
That is really sad. That's absolutely ridiculous.
I'll send you the video. I'll find it and send it to you.
Lethal said, enlighten me, MRM. What is the C word used towards whites? You really don't know? That's like asking me, what is the N word used towards black people? Native African Americans. Come on now. You know what that C word is.
Caucasian?
It ends with the same last 2 letters of the N word.
Cracker.
Ding, 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 ding. Here we give up for that lady right there, young woman. There's saltini ones.
Think about it.
There's Ritz.
So what I'm saying, I don't hear that kind of stuff. I live in the South, and I'm telling you right now, as someone who's lived here all my life, basically on the same road all my life, my parents literally live around the corner from me. I've lived here my entire life, and I have never seen anyone mistreated because of their race, whether they're white or black. I've never seen a black person mistreat a white person. I've never seen a white person. And, I've seen kids mistreat kids, but not because of their race, but just because they're kids and they're mean.
Yes, I'm so glad you said that. I'm not trying to call you out because this is one of my best friends that I grew up with. As a matter of fact, my best friend is married to one of my female friends that we all grew up with. Check this out. She's white. We are coming from church camp. This girl is like balling 70 degrees. She's like going 70 miles per hour in like a 50 mile per hour, them little highways, whatever. We coming from camp, church camp. Police officer pulled her over. The man got out there. He was like, how many times have you driven down this road? She's like, oh, well, we go to camp here. We've been coming here all week. He said, you've been coming down this road all this time. You tell me you don't know it said 50 miles per hour? Well, I didn't know really how fast I was going. Well, you should have known how fast you were going because you obviously was not paying attention. You were going 20 miles over the speed limit. Do you know what I can do for you? He said, you know what? I tell you what you do. And me and my friend, look, she's white sitting in the front. There was another white girl sitting in the passenger side. My best friend, black. I'm black. We sitting in the back. That man said, follow me. And it was like, what the actual heck? Like, we like, dude, like what? He said, follow me. This man, police officer, he turned his lights on and made her follow him. We drove like 15 minutes outside the main highway road, whatever like that. We drove 15 minutes to go to like, it looked like because it was a small town. It looked like it was like a double wide trailer, but it was all spiffed up. It said police, police, sheriff, whatever on it, whatever like that. It must have been like a little satellite. We drove there. That man sat there and said to her, he told her everything that she was doing, He took her license. He looked at me and my best friend. He said, either one of you old enough to drive? We both were like, yeah. He said, who's the oldest? I was like, I am. He's like, do you have a license with you? I said, yes, sir, I do. He said, let me see it. And I showed it to him. He said, you drive them back home, okay? He said, you drive them back home. You be the last one to get dropped off. And she drives herself home. He said, okay? And if you guys are going to be going to church camp, I better not see her driving this car back. And he took her license. Now, any other person would have heard this story would have said, oh, shoot, the reason why that man had y'all follow him back because it was 2 black dudes in the back seat with 2 white girls up in the front. They would have instantly wrote into that story. But no, that man was ticked off at her and he took her license and she had him taken for a whole year. Now he was like, she could have put y'all, she put y'all lives in danger. And this was a white police officer. Now, again, when we just talked about the whole racist thing, we could have instantly, me and my friend, He came from, but be honest with my friend at the time, he was like in a more middle class living area. I'm from like the ghetto, straight hood. I'm thinking like this man having us following him. I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking like this ain't gonna be probably too good because he made. I never heard of cops forcing you to follow him. I'm like, dude, like what's about to go down? Like what the heck? He probably about to take us to this double wide trailer, bring us all in there, and what are you doing with these white girls? Are you guys? Are they? What's really going on? Are you guys back there intimidating them? Are you making them? I mean, I thought we was all from what the hood had us thinking. We thinking that this is what's about to unfold, but no, he went off on her and pretty much told me, you drive, and so I mean, folks, I'm sorry. I've had tons of encounters. I've seen tons of encounters. I've seen murder in my face. I've seen people get beat. I've seen people get women. I've seen women get beat. The police come there. I've never once seen the police act what we call racist or anything like that. Now, what I do know that I found to be, I can say it wasn't racist, but I can't say that it is. Where do you want to look for? Not necessarily sexist, but where the man clearly called the police. Hey, my girlfriend is trying to beat me with this bat, whatever like that. She pulled out a knife. I'm holding her down. Everybody's saying, hey, can y'all please come? Because she's steady trying to hit me with this bat. She's steady trying to stab me. Quit playing, girl. You hear, stop. You hear them doing all this. The police rolls right up and put him in handcuffs and put him in the car and pulled her off to the side and asked her questions. That right there, I seen a lot, which I was like, okay, this is messed up now. We all clear. We all sent it to the police. Like, no, she was trying to stab him. Like she was hitting him with the bat and all that. But I never seen once where the police officers actually came when the female was the assailant, whatever. I never seen them come and arrest her first, whatever. They always took the dude. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they felt, he's stronger or whatever. I don't know, but I do know they did that 100% of the time. Whenever it went down with a man and a woman have a domestic thing, and the woman is the one that's actually being the aggressor.
Because the man has done something to drive the woman so crazy that she lost
it. So what you saying, Mama Don? They put him in a car to protect him?
Yeah. She might. I mean, I've got a BB gun now. And I tell my husband all the time when we're out somewhere, I said, you're lucky I don't have my BB gun with me. He said, why you treat me like that? I said, well, just her.
So they wanted, okay, look at you. Terrible. So what you saying, they was protecting him and trying to defuse her, huh?
Exactly. He was protected as long as he's over there.
Oh, that's too funny, man. Oh my gosh. Anyway. Well, folks, Mama Don, you guys, this has all been really, really fun talking. It actually, I mean, our chats always go well and all that. Okay, wait a minute. I got to address this question.
Okay.
Prodi said, so you are saying that you are racist because you assume that the police officer will act like you thought he will because he was white and you were black. Prodi, you completely missed this whole conversation, didn't you? You completely missed it. And I know, see again, this is what, folks, a learning lesson right here. Notice how Prodi says, so you are saying that you are racist.
Well, let me tell you this. As a woman, if a cop told me to follow him, it would creep me out. I'd be like, why am I going to follow him for?
See what I'm saying? That's what, that he didn't catch all, or he or she did not catch all that saying because you assume that the police officer will act like you thought he will. No.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen that. I was freaked out too.
Did anybody, like I said, this person, whoever it is, Prodi, you missed the whole point. You missed the whole thing. I sat there and said, the police officer ended up going off on her about how she endangered our lives, and we were sitting there like, oh, we didn't know what was going on because the fact he made us follow him. So I don't know how you got some type of racist thing out of it. And I made it clear after I said that see what I'm saying? There ain't no racist or anything in it. This police officer was being a police officer. You missed that whole point, but nice try though. Nice try.
Yeah, I'd always wonder what would happen if that word didn't exist. That word either in its present form or whatever, racism, racist, if it didn't exist. Just throw it out.
And again, like you just said too, Mama Don, everybody that was in this, well, most of the people in this chat, when I said that, everybody was like, wait a minute, what? What? I told y'all, it was weird because I said, never have I ever heard of a cop telling you, follow me with his lights on. Who ever heard of that? So what are you? Don't try to throw no.
Pull off the road, yeah, but no.
And see what Prodi just did right there was the same exact thing, like what we know, like a lot of outlets do. You try to race bait people. You missed the whole. See, you missed the whole message behind it. But nice try, though. It's not going to work on me. Nah, nice try, though. So anyway, like I was saying, this was a very good chat. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed the last. My stomach is coming out of my back because I eat once a day and I haven't eaten yet. And I got to get ready to go do that. But guys, everybody in this chat, it was really fun. I enjoyed you guys. I enjoyed the comments, the disagreements, the whole nine. I enjoyed the conversation with you as well, Mama Don. And if y'all look to get this video circulated by giving the video a thumbs up, that's how it gets done. And when this video is over with, if y'all can simply just say, hey, this was cool, that helps it get circulated too. If you want to support the channel, completely up to you. The link is in the description. Look for those emojis. Follow all that. If you want to send something to me, the P.O Box is down there as well. And with that being said, I am done, and I'll let Mama Don say whatever she wants to say at the end, if there is anything.
I'm out too. My bedtime.
That's all she has to say, folks. All right. All right, folks. I'm Ty Smith. I hope and pray every last one of you guys have food, shelter, and clothing. And y'all know, I hope and pray every last one of you guys are in great health. God bless you all through Jesus.
Goodbye.